Hello, my name is Anish Rajiv, and I'm from Northview High School. Today I'll be showing you guys my community service hours tracker app for the coding and programming event in FBLA. So the first thing you see when you open the app is the screen that says with a button that says "Click here to access FBLA students." If you click the button, we see the main page in the app. The first thing we can do in the app is add a student. So let's say I want to add a student myself, 1100340 for the ID, and I am a sophomore. And so we add the student, so it will display the student's name, student's ID, their grade, the category of service, the category of award they have achieved, and the total hours they have. Then we see three actions on the far right: add hours, delete, and report. The first thing we can do to the student is we can add hours. So let's say I was cleaning the park on the 14th, and I was doing it for 2 hours. If we add that, we'll see that it'll display a total of 2 hours here now. Let's say I add another event for testing, just a test event on April 1st, and it was 100 hours. Now we'll see that my total hours have switched to 102. The category has switched to service, for which 102 hours is qualifying for. We can also add another student here. So let's say I want to add a test student with a different ID and a different grade. And we can utilize the search function at the top to search for student names or their IDs. So for example, I want to search for my name, it'll only show mine. Test, it'll only show test. And I can also use student IDs to search for all entries with matching student IDs. I can also search for hours. So if I want to find a student with a certain amount of hours, I can type that in there. Each student is generated with a report screen that they have that has their name, so we can edit their name here. Their grade, we can edit that too. The total hours, their category, which we can edit using these radio buttons, and their event, which include the date, the name, the hours, and actions we can do, which include editing the event. We can also search throughout these events. So let's say I want to find all the events in April. I'll just type 04 and it'll only show 04. Let's say I want to find all the events on April 1st. If I narrow my search to 04/01, it'll show all the events on April 1st. Or if I narrow my search to 04/14, it'll narrow all my searches to April 14th. I can also search by event name, like test or cleaning the park, and I can search by event hours, like 100 or 2. There's also reports here where you can print, which will open the print screen, which will print only the report for the student based on your search, or download the reports for the student based on what you've searched. If we go to the main page here, we can see that there's also print buttons for the students, which will only print what we have searched, or download buttons, which will only download for the students that we have searched for. Finally, we go to the action buttons, which can delete both the students. If we look at the code, we can see there's two kind of sections here. There is the section underneath the FBLA folder, which has a bunch of Java files, and a section underneath the web content folder, which has a bunch of JSP files. The Java files handle all the backend stuff. For example, the servlet file handles all actions with adding a new student. This delete student servlet Java file, for example, handles all actions when you delete a student. This FBLA DAO file handles everything to do with SQLite. So because I use SQLite for my database for this project. It opens connections, closes connections, etc. Most of the Java files have just backend purposes, like the SQLite files or random servlet files. They handle backend actions. The pages folder, which has the JSP files, has all the UI-based stuff. So, for example, the add student JSP has UI based on on the screen when you add a student, or the delete student JSP has UI for the delete student. All these JSPs just do UI front end based stuff, like the report JSP, etc. And that's most of the important parts in the code, which is basically just the Java backend, the SQL, the SQL database and the UI, which is used with JSPs. The languages I used to write this app were JavaScript, Java, and I also used a kind of package of JavaScript called Electron.js to package my application into the desktop application it is. Thank you.